These pews up here up in the choir area. Don't be shy. I will go out and grab some of you if you don't. I will too. So if you can hold a book, sing it to you, y'all come on up here, be a part of us. Glad to see everybody this evening. Heaven's Jubilee, we'll be singing all three verses.
This is a group of girls that just started singing. I asked them to sing one time for a ladies' luncheon last year, and the very next Sunday the pastor wanted them to sing at church. And so since that time they've been getting together. We've lost some and we've gained some, but they chose the name the Gospel Girls. And the first song they're going to sing is one of their favorites, and it's one of mine. He Wrote My Name.
He wrote my name on heaven's scroll.
all the time, and she's really good at picking songs and working with these children because she's a retired teacher and she has really good rapport with these little girls. And she had a song she thought they might have fun singing, and I hope you will think it's fun, but it has a real good message, and the message is excuses. We all have them.
In the springtime, when the weather's just right, you'll find someplace else to go. The doctor told you better watch the crowds, they'll set you back. But you go to that old ball game, cause it helps you to relax. Excuses, excuses, you'll hear them every day. Now the devil, he'll supply them, and from church you stay away. When his people come to know the Lord, the devil always loses. So to keep them folks away from church, he offers them excuses. Well, a headache Sunday morning, and a backache Sunday night. Work time Monday morning, you're feeling quite alright.
While one of them children has a cold, what would you suppose? While the whole family had to stay at home.
Just to blow that poor kid's nose. Excuses, excuses, you'll hear them every day. Now the devil, he'll supply them, and from church you stay away. When people come to know the Lord, the devil always loses. So to keep them folks away from church, he offers them excuses. So to keep them folks away from church, he offers them excuses.
I think I get more nervous when they sing than I do when I do. But I'm proud of them for doing what they do. And, you know, some of them haven't been saved yet, but some of them have. And you have to be saved to really get the meaning of this next song. Because without the Lord, what in the world, where would we be? What would we be? You think about that sometimes as a Christian, and you just realize the day you were saved is the greatest day of your life. And I long to see the ones that are not in this little group be saved by God's amazing grace. So they're going to sing Without Him, and then we're going to end it with a song that they wanted to end this song with, which is I'm glad, the Family of God is the name of it, but I'm so glad I'm a part of the family of God. And they'll sing Without Him and then end it with the chorus of that song. I hope you enjoy it.
Without him,
We welcome everyone to North Carthage tonight. Thankful for everyone that's come this way. We're thankful for you that come and ate with us. We had a good meal and could have fed a whole lot more. I think everybody enjoyed it. We done been discussing. We may have lunch tomorrow. North Carthage folks, if you got to eat somewhere, might as well leave the church again tomorrow. So they can be plenty of food. But do want to welcome each and every one of you here tonight for this annual fellowship meeting. And we're just thankful for everyone that's come. Each church is represented. And we just pray tonight that each and every one of us, we come together here tonight. Brother Thomas, the church elected him to bring the message. But this is the Lord's service. And we want everyone here to do what the Lord would have you to do. And if we'll do that, when we leave tonight, we can say it's been good to be in the house of the Lord. I know Brother Thomas desires your prayers, so y'all be prayerful for Brother Thomas. And pray the Lord just bless him. And I'm looking forward to hearing him. And it's just been wonderful so far to be with all y'all and see he's coming in out the door. And I just pray we'll all do what the Lord would have us to do. We're going to go to the Lord more in prayer in just a second, but does anyone have a prayer request or anything on your heart tonight before we go further in the service?
Well, Nancy, pray for our daughter-in-law. It's her second round of cancer, and she's not doing really well.
God bless you, Brother Snotty. Remember his daughter-in-law. Someone else?
Leslie Silcox. A lot of you all remember Leslie. She's about at the end of her road now. She's in hospice care. So she needs our prayers.
Amen. God bless you. Remember Leslie. Someone else?
Brenda Thrower.
Remember this.
Brother Anthony, my Uncle Randy is in the hospital in Gallatin, and they're running some tests on his heart, and his blood pressure's up really, really high right now. So if we could pray for him, I'd appreciate it.
Mrs. Janet, remember this request.
Remember Nathan. He's had his CAT scans, still having problems with a little bit of soreness in his knees, abdominal area. They want him to have a colonoscopy. Right now he's eating just chicken broth and crackers and anything that's not real. Anything that's bland is on his diet. And also remember my sister, Anna Holloway. They did send her home from the hospital and trying to get her into therapy. The bottom line is they really don't know what's wrong with her. She's losing muscle tone, losing the ability to walk, her arms, and so it doesn't look real good right now.
Remember this request. We want to be sure to remember the lost, most of all. Had a revival at Plummer's Creek last week, and there were 2 young men on the altar. We want to remember them. It's done been mentioned, we have lost here. And I know all y'all have lost in y'all churches. So they need to be foremost upon our heart. Anybody else before we go to Lord in prayer?
Randy Dennis, Melinda Dennis' husband, Randy, he's in the hospital. Very sick.
Remember Randy Dennis. Someone else?
Was out my brother-in-law's grandson, 9 years old, diagnosed with cancer, Ewing sarcoma. He's undergoing treatments for 8 weeks, and her report is slightly hopeful. Pray for him, please. Jason Holland. His name is Jason Holland, 9 years old.
9 years old. Remember this request. Thank you. Listen to that. A lot of folks sick. Someone else?
Well, then, remember my sister, Diane Atfield. She's in the hospital right now. She's a cancer survivor, but she's had
Bless you, Brother Payne. Remember that. I talked to Brother Junior this morning. His sister had fell and broke several ribs and a leg, and they had to do surgery. And remember her. And also remember his daughter-in-law, Holly. She's having some health trouble. And let's be remember this. Someone else.
Brother Anthony, I still request prayer for my life. I appreciate everybody here that's praying for her. The Lord been good to us in our part of this way, and
Bless you, Brother Gerald. Continue to remember his wife. Appreciate that, Brother Gerald. Somebody else. I want us to have altar of prayer tonight. For the service, for the upcoming revival year, for the lost, for our nation. We've got a whole lot to be prayerful for. For anyone else, everyone that would, let's come to this altar and have altar of prayer tonight before we start this service. Brother Leon White, would you start this prayer, please?
Father,
All right, Lord. Thank you, Lord. All the things, Lord. We thank you, Lord, this is our we thank you, Lord, for this church, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for our church. We just pray, Lord, that all will speak up the Lord. We pray, Lord, for the stands for that, Lord, Lord. We pray, Lord, somebody might be here tonight, Lord, but they know you.
Father, in this service.
We pray for them in such a manner, dear God, that you'll bless them in a special way, Lord. We may hear the good news, Heavenly Father, many souls, many names being added to the Lamb Book of Life. We just ask, Heavenly Father, that you bless according to every need in all of the church stands in need of. Heavenly Father, bless those, Heavenly Father, that are without pastors. Heavenly Father, realizing, Heavenly Father, that you know exactly the one that's supposed to be in that pulpit, Heavenly Father. And we just pray, Lord, that they'll get their heads together in such a manner, dear God, and kneel down and talk to you about it, and Heavenly Father, you'll give them the answer. Heavenly Father, they stand in need. Bless once again this church, their good pastor, Heavenly Father, take care of him, lead, guide him, direct him in such a manner he'll be able to lead this flock, Heavenly Father, and feed them the spiritual food, Heavenly Father, they stand in need of. Heavenly Father, to grow in grace and knowledge of truth. Brother Thomas tonight, take him into your loving arms, lift him up before this congregation in such a manner, dear God, he'll be able to speak in your name in such a manner, dear God, that it have great power, Heavenly Father, following each and every word. Take it to our hearts and souls, Heavenly Father, in such a manner that it be helpful to everyone that has come this way. And if he lost, I'm prepared there, Heavenly Father, it will set up that great conviction in their souls in such a manner, Lord, that they're proud unto you with all the heart, soul, and mind. Be born into your family before tribulation turns to too late. Forgive us, Lord, of many sin, errors, many, many mistakes. Bless according to every need. Once again, we stand in need of. Thank you once again for salvation. Thank you for allowing us to unite with your church, Heavenly Father, while we walk through this world. In Christ's name, we do them. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to sing a couple of more songs. We're going to start with number 54. Brother T.L. Gillies' songs. I think it's one of his best ones. I know I'm dating myself when I say I can remember when this was newly published, but 1978 doesn't seem that far back to me yet. But this is a beautiful song with a beautiful message. It's gonna be wonderful.
God.
240. And I'm not singing this because I composed it. I want to y'all sing this song because you notice where it says Robert Dillingham's name. I was at Calvary Missionary Baptist Church off Noblesville Road many years ago, before we had children, my wife and Rena. Robert got up to give his testimony. And if you read this song, the lyrics, that's his testimony. I remember him distinctly saying, "I'll never understand why Jesus saved me, but I'm glad he did." So sing this song, Understanding of the Spirit. First and the second.
Through
Anthony asked me, he said, if you'll stand in front of this microphone, he said, we won't have to have this. I said, well, that's impossible. I can't stand in front of it. But he gave me this, so I'll put it in my pocket. But anyway, I'm thankful to be here. Appreciate each and every one of you coming out. Say to the ladies of the church, appreciate the meal. I told Brother Anthony I might come back tomorrow when I can eat. But it is. It's like I say, I enjoyed it. I appreciate it very much. But most of all, it's an honor to stand here. That the church would put enough trust and faith in me that I could stand here and preach tonight. I appreciate that very much. Appreciate my family being here. Like all of them here, appreciate that. Means a lot. Means a lot. But I do appreciate the opportunity to get to come out tonight. Like I said, I told Brother Anthony, I said I might just back tomorrow and visit with you and see, just slip in the back door and get a little lunch. But anyway, you got to have fun in church. You've got to have, you've got to be free. If you don't have fun and enjoy life, what's the purpose of being here? Other than seeing lost people saved. Once I've been saved, and by God's grace, I want to see more people saved. And more people saved. That can enjoy what I have right here. The love that I have, that we can fellowship tonight, one with another. Love each other. Pray for each other when we need prayers. Help each other along the way. But I do appreciate y'all giving me this opportunity here at North Carthage to come out tonight and to try to stand for the Lord. Not that I'll do anything. But if anything here tonight is done, it'll be with the Lord's help. It'll be that He does it all. Because without Him, I can't stand up here. I can't do it without His help. I told Him, the Lord, when He called me to preach, I said, you've got to be with me. He's not let me down yet. And I'm looking for Him to be here tonight to help me. You know, I need that help. Anybody that stands up here and preaches knows that you got to have the Lord's help. You can't do it by yourself. If you try it by yourself, you'll end up in a mess. You'll end up in a mess. But I do appreciate that tonight. Everyone coming out. And y'all just please pray for me as I try to bring the message tonight. I tried to study last night and I tried to study today. And we're going to see where it goes. The Lord gave me 2 things that He wanted me to talk about tonight. And I've argued with Him all day, but it ain't done a bit of good. So I'm going to try to do as the Lord's will tonight, what He has laid upon my heart. And we'll just see where it goes and what happens. One more thing before I read my lesson. If anybody, anytime, through this service needs to say something, needs to sing a song, whatever it might be, you better do it. I tell everybody everywhere I go, it's better to get a blessing than it is to get a whipping. And that's what happens when you don't do what the Lord wants you to do. When you stand there and grab that bench and don't say nothing, what do you do on the way home? He whips you all the way home. You should have got up and you should have said that. I put that upon your heart. I found this out too. If you don't do it, He'll find somebody else to will. He'll find somebody else to will. Pray for me. If you got your Bibles and you want to read along tonight, be coming out of the 4th chapter of Matthew. Very, very familiar reading lesson. 4th chapter of Matthew. Starting there with about the 17th verse. I'll read about 4 or 5 verses there. Matthew, the 4th chapter, 17th verse. It says, from the time Jesus began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, saw 2 brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And He said unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed Him. And going on from thence, he saw another two brethren, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the ship with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets, and he called them. And they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him. And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in the synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. Correctly read there with my mistakes. The thought that I have tonight, did you come to church to go fishing? Well, that's a little strange, isn't it? But what did Jesus tell those men right there? He said, come and be fishers of men. Being fishers of men to me is to mean that he is out there, he was wanting them to come and follow him so that they could spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what they were supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do tonight. That's what we're supposed to do Sunday. That's when we meet at church, to make sure that the gospel is preached to those that are lost. Well, what do you have as bait? What's that Bible right there? What is that Bible? From back to front or front to back. There's things in there that we can tell people. There's things in there that Jesus left the examples for. That to show how that people have to be saved, that they can't just get to heaven by shaking the preacher's hand or writing on a card, that it don't work that way. The preached word has to go out to those that are lost, and what happens there, the conviction of God comes in and it pricks their heart. Amen. Pricks their heart. So we're fishing, aren't we? You throw out the bait. You know what that says? That's left up to the preacher. No, it ain't either. Amen. It's not left up to the preacher. The preacher's job is to come and preach every Sunday. Brother Anthony comes and preaches every Sunday. But it's still left up to the church. Amen. What? To testify, to sing the songs. To show people what you've got. What's that doing? It's casting out the bait, isn't it? Showing people. All right, now let's back up just a little bit here. If you cast out the bait, who's there nibbling it up? Old devil. Soon as you throw it out, I guarantee you he's right there to take it away. Why do you say that? Well, it talks about over in John. It says there in John, I believe it's the 8th chapter, the 44th verse. Ye are the father, the devil, and the lust of the father, you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, a doctor not into the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So when it goes out there, old Satan's right there to try to destroy it, to get rid of it. Now you think about this. This might not be a good comparison, but I was sitting there today and I was thinking, what do we have when you go fishing there? You have a worm. What is it? Just plain and simply. Put it on the hook and you throw it out. What's the Word of God? Plain and simple. There's nothing confusing about it. There's nothing that's that. It's plain and simple. But now let me tell you what does the old devil do when he throws out his cast? You know, when you go to Walmart down here, you can buy any kind of spinnerbait you want that's got any kind of color, any kind of thing on it. What does he do? When he throws that out there, everybody's looking. Wow. What does he do? Grabs your attention with it, don't he? Then he distracts you off over here and you forget what you was doing over there. It happens. Don't tell me it don't. The world's full of it today. If it wasn't full of it, this church should be full, sitting up here and all around, the chairs everywhere. That's what he does. It reminds me, you know the old cartoon that they had there on the television where it had the mule there and it had the carrot dangling in front of him. That's the way old Satan gets us sometimes. He puts it out there, we get to looking at it and we forget what's on the inside of us. We got to stay focused on exactly what we're doing. The world today is in too much of a turmoil. It's in too much of a trouble for people to be fussing and fighting among each other. We've got to have togetherness. We've got to have love. Lord, have mercy. Could you imagine what would happen if love came into, and all the churches of God got together, all the missionary Baptists and all the other ones, the power that we would have if they all come in one accord, serving God like we're supposed to do, not like some of them are doing. They don't work. They want to, and I use this. What did I say about the bait that was out there? Oh, it's all shiny, it's all pretty, it looks good. Come on into here, we've got everything. And what is it? Boy, they follow right in, don't they? Follow right in. They don't look over here, look over there. They just follow where they're going. Oh, look what they got. It's great, it's good. But you know what? The great thing and the good thing, they leave that out. Somewhere along the line, it gets left out. Somehow salvation gets left out of that. Salvation gets left out of it. You know, it's like the man there that sowed the crop. Said he sowed good wheat. It sprang up. Then there was tares. The men come in and said, well, there's tares in the crop. You know, oh, you want us to go pull them up and destroy them? He said, no. It's the way it is today. We're growing up together, aren't we? All the churches are coming up. Don't mean all of them's good, does it? One day after a while, the Lord's going to look down and He's going to say, that's my church right there. I'm going to bring her back up. What's going to happen to all the rest of them? They're going to be burned up, ain't they? They're going to be thrown away and burned up. Why? Because that's what the Bible says. The true plan of salvation is the only thing that will be able to stand when this world is on fire. It's it. Nothing else. I don't care what you want to put forth. I don't care what you want to do. The girls were singing about excuses over here. There's going to be, God's going to hear so many excuses. Oh, when that time comes, it's not going to be funny. Because people are going to think that, well, I done this because the preacher said do that. And when they get there, I'm telling you, if your name ain't written in that Lamb's Book of Life, if it's not written there in Jesus' blood, you will never get in. You'll never get in. So while we're here, we have to contend with the devil. He's around every day. He'd have come in the door tonight if you'd let him. He'd have walked right in with you. Why? Because he knows if he can get in here and he can stir up trouble, what's going to happen? Ain't nobody going to be worried about anybody being saved. There's nobody going to worry about those things like that. There's going to be confusion and troubles and trials. And what happens? That lost sinner goes out the door and never comes back. Why? Because they say, well, why should I go down there? All them people do is fuss and fight. Lord, we need to come together in one accord, one mind, and pray for each other. Lord, this world's in a terrible turmoil right now. It's awful. You look out. It ain't only, you used to think, well, it's in Wilson County or it's in Nashville. Honey, it's right here now. Just walk down the street. You'll run right into it. And what's he doing? The old devil's stowed that bait out there, boy, and he's dingling her out there, and everybody just following him right along. Following him right along. And when we cast out the bait, he's right there to nibble it up, ain't he? He's right there to take it away. He's right there to tell that sinner, say, look, you don't need to be saved. There ain't nothing to that salvation. It ain't no good. Just what you got or going up there and shaking the preacher's hand is good enough. That don't work. It don't work. What is it one of these days? It says over there in Matthew, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prospered in thy name? And in thy name have we not cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I prophesy unto them, never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. That's what he's going to tell them. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. What did I say a while ago? Their name what? Wasn't written in the Lamb's Book of Life. I don't know who you are. If you've never been saved by God's grace, He don't know who you are. Far as spiritual wise. He knows who you are every day. He knows everything you're doing, where you're going, where it's all at. But spiritual wise, your name's never been written down in that book. You know, you can go to the bank and sign your name 100 times. You can go this and that means you're going to have to pay that back. But let me tell you what. That Sunday morning up there at Mount Tabor when the Lord came down and He saved my soul and He wrote my name right there, that is the most important thing that ever happened to me in my lifetime and the most important signature that was ever put down. Lord have mercy. And the world today is telling how everything can go this way and that way. And we're growing up in it. What the wheat was there and the tares come up and we're among it all the time. It's here. People think it's not. I don't know where you're living, but you just need to look around. Just need to look around. Things going on in this world right now that I don't know why the Lord don't come back. Amen. But He hadn't yet. And you know what that means? That means we still got to keep on fighting. That means we still got to keep on pushing forward. That means we still got to take this old Bible right here. We still got to take it, carry it around with us, and use it as what? As the bait. If it's not right here, it's not of God. There's too many people wanting to take this old Bible right here, right now, and make it sound the way they want it to sound. That don't work. What does it say over there in Revelation? Not to add to or take away. How many people today are wanting to make the Bible their way? Well, it's my way. Let's just do it this way. I don't care. One of these days you're going to have to answer for those things. Just as we will have to answer for the things we haven't done, the things we're supposed to do. How many times in the Bible there? What about came to Peter there? He was walking out on the water. Jesus came up and He started out on the water. Got to that point there and it said what? The sea started boiling in, waves and all this. What did he do? He probably got to looking at that little shiny thing the devil had hanging out there, didn't he? Whoa, Lord, these waves and all this. And he took his mind off the Lord. What happened when he took it off? Went right down. We got to keep our eyes focused on where we're going. We got to keep going straight. We can't vary off to one side or the other. Because every time that we let our guard down, what happens? Well, Satan slides right in the door, don't he? He's just waiting for you to let your guard down. And the thing about that is, everybody says, well, the Lord knows everything about us. He does. Knows everything to go all about us. You know what? Satan does too. A lot of people don't believe that, but I do. He knows how to wiggle right in there and make them pretty things look really great. If not, then how in the day that when he came to Eve there, if he came as people perceive him as being, how would he have deceived her? I believe he came as beautiful can be. That's the way he came. Beautiful. The world today perceives Satan as with having a pitchfork and a red suit. Let me tell you what he is. He's as pretty as there ever was. He's as slick as there ever was. He's the biggest liar that there ever was. The Bible plain, I read that to you. Peter was out there walking on the water and he took his eyes off God. That's what happens. Sometimes we'll be going through life and we take our eyes off God, and what happens? We start sinking. We start sinking. But instantly, What did it say there when he was started singing? What did Jesus do? Stuck out his hand, and all he did, he just lifted him right up. Don't when we get down sometimes and feel bad or whatever, and Jesus comes along and he raises us up, boy, don't that feel good? When you feel the Spirit of the Lord, when he gets a hold of you, and he lets you know what you got. Let you know what you got. I don't have to worry about, this or that or whatever. But my salvation was took care of on that Moner's Beach up yonder that Sunday morning. I don't have to worry about anything else, because the Lord's holding on to that for me. He's going to take care of it for me. And that day that he sends the death angel by, I'm going to cash in on it. And I'm going home to a place that's beautiful. That's what we need to be telling the world today. The Bible is plain and simple. It's like a little worm. It's just plain, simple, not hard to understand. But it's got to get out. It's got to go to those that are lost. It's got to go to those people that we're worried about. It's got to go to all of them. We can't take our eye. It's like you come on down a little bit further there, and Peter, he came there and he told the Lord, he said, I'll never deny you. Never. I'll stick by with you till the end and never give up. What happened? Just as soon there as he took his eye off the Lord, he started denying him, didn't he? Just like the Lord said he would do. Just like we do when we take our eye off the Lord. We'll slip over a little bit. But you know what? I'm thankful that he loves me. And he reaches down and he'll say, you get back over there just a little bit. And then you don't pay attention to him and it gets a little harder the next time. Then you don't pay attention to him, then he'll get a hold of you and he'll say, look, this is what you're supposed to be doing, get a hold of it. That's what he done to me. I told him I wasn't going to preach. There ain't no way you can get me up there to preach. You see where I'm at. He's got his ways of doing things. And I think he loves us so much that when we slip a little bit, he's right there to say, I love you. But you got to get back over here where you was at. You got to start doing those things. That's just like, you come on down. This is my favorite one in the Bible, I tell you what. That's old Jonah. I can relate to him as me and him we were as close could be, I guess, if you got down to it because of the way he acted. When the Lord came down to him and told him, I want you to go to Nineveh and preach, whoo, what did he do? He run just as hard as he could go in the opposite direction. But I'm going to tell you what, and that's the way that I look at it. When he got old Jonah in that fish's belly there, and he got to talking to the Lord, and he got to saying, Lord, what was it? There was a prayer. People may not believe. So that's just a story. Let me tell you what. I believe there's one more prayer went out of that old fish's belly right there. Why? Because he knew he was in trouble, and he knew who to turn to. The world today, they don't know who to turn to. They haven't got a clue. It's like I said a while ago. The old devil's got that shiny bait thrown out there and he's dangling in front of every one of them and they're following along just as hard as they can go. Why? Because it's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the gospel. They don't want to hear that you have to bow down before God and make an altar and be saved. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, come up and accept Christ. Or to throw that word out of the dictionary. Christ accepted me. God didn't accept him. Amen. And I got down to that point, he accepted me. When I got down in the shape that I was supposed to be in, he accepted me. The world don't want to hear that today. They want to hear the feel good. Come on, let's get up here and shake the hand and sign the paper and boy, you're ready to go. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. And it's left up to us to tell the world how the true plan of salvation works. that there has to be an altar. Begging, pleading. I don't know about you, but boy, I've done some bargaining. Some pleading. Didn't work. I tried everything I could think of. Still didn't work. When I got down in that shape that I needed to be in, when I got down there, low as I could get, then what happened? What did he do with old Peter there? Reached out that hand and picked me up, didn't he? Took me out of that old miry pit there. Raised me up, put my feet on something solid that I can stand upon, that'll be here. You know, the world is like, you talk over there in Matthew, there about the 7th chapter, on down toward the end of the chapter, about the 24th verse there, it talks about where that the sand, that the man built his house upon the solid, mine's built on a solid rock. That's where I'm built today. But the rest of the world is building upon the sand. And let me tell you what, those that have built upon the sand, one day after a while, what's going to happen? What did it say? It's going to be a great fall. That is going to be a great fall. What I've tried to tell you tonight is, what we've got is God's Word. It's plain, it's simple, it's to understand. We've got to spread it out to the world. Because if we don't, the church down the street is going to be telling them something that they don't need to hear. They're going to be like Satan. They're going to be the ones that's got the shiny fishing lures or the shiny whatever dangling out there, saying, come on in. We've got everything here you need. Come in on Sunday morning. We got it all. You can act ever how you want to. You can do whatever you want to. You can go wherever you want to and do what you want. I don't know about you, but the Lord expects each and every one of us to be saved by His grace to act a certain way, walk a certain way, hold our head up and be proud that God has saved our soul. And not be ashamed of it. I don't care to tell nobody exactly the point, the time, and the place, and everywhere that the Lord came down to save me. I can take you to the spot on the end of that old Mona's Beach. Take you to the spot. If you've been saved, I guarantee every one of you in here take you. If the place is still standing, you can take right back to the spot. And if it's not standing, you could probably get close. Close to that spot where it was at. What, that ain't something that you never forget. What people's got, other people's got that the devil's telling them they got, well, they ain't got nothing. Not a thing that they have. They don't have anything. Nothing. What I've got right here will take me on to glory one day after a while. Take me there. But as I said before, while we're here, it's our responsibility to make sure the kid down the street hears it. I'll tell you this story. Brother Brad Whittemore helped me in, I believe it was the last revival. Brother Bobby, you and Brother Gerald can tell me for wrong. It was either the last or the one before. When he was up there one night, and he said, now this shows you, brother, how that God deals. Said there was a family there. Man went to him. Said, why don't you come on to church tonight? A revival's going on. Said, no. Said, my tobacco needs plowing. Came in the next day. Man down the street plowed his tobacco. He said, why don't you come on to church with me tonight? He said, no. He said, my family ain't got no clothes to wear. Came in the next night, laying on the front porch. His wife had stayed up all night now and sold every one of them new pair of clothes to wear. He went to him and he said, won't you come to church tonight? Whole family come that night. That young man there, Brother Brad, was talking about, he said, I'm proof what God done. He said, we went to church that night, I got saved. He said, now I'm a preacher. Now you tell me, God don't have a work for each and every one of us to do. That's why I say, and I stress so much, follow what God wants you to do. Don't hold back on it. I held back on it. I'll just tell you the truth. I held back on it. I didn't follow what he wanted me to do. I run from it for years. Follow what he wants you to do. What did I say at the first of this? You want a blessing or a whipping? It's up to you. That's your choice. We as God's people have got to get the word out. It's got to go out. There's too many people today that die and go to hell because somebody didn't tell them about the Lord. Somebody didn't tell them about the Lord. Or somebody somewhere down the road deceived them and they didn't get that opportunity to follow the Lord. There's two more and I'll prepare to close. Philip. Lord came to him. An angel said, an angel came to him. So why don't you go down to the desert? Well, did he back up any excuses? To give any excuses to anybody? What did I think he done? He packed up and we went there. God had a reason for him to go down there, didn't he? There was an old eunuch coming by. What did God know that old eunuch needed? He knew that old eunuch needed to be saved. That's why he sent him by. Philip didn't back up, he didn't sputter, he didn't say anything. He went down there and preached to the old eunuch. And I believe he got saved. What about Stephen? Stephen was another one there that was preaching to those. Preaching hard to them now, I'm telling you. The old stiff necks and everything else is what he's calling them, what he was telling them. In the end, it cost him his life. But what came out of that? There was an old man, or a man there by the name of Saul, that had papers in his hands that was going to destroy people of the gospel. People that were preaching what we're preaching tonight. What on Sunday mornings preached. But Stephen got a hold of him there. Even in his dying words. He got a hold of him there. The Lord came down. And what happened? A little bit later on, Saul's name was changed to Paul. And what happened? He's one of the greatest preachers, I believe, in the New Testament there. One of the greatest new preachers in the Testament. We, as God's people, have got to get the word out. Because we're fighting old Satan every day. Every day we're fighting. You know, I'll prepare to close. I said I'd hush here in a minute. When he gets on me really hard, I can take him back to that place right up yonder when I got saved. But he's got to leave, man. He can't stand it. He can't stand to be around. Because when the power of the Lord comes in and God's around, he has to leave. He can't stand it. God is great. God is good. He loves this universe that he created. And he's left it down to what? Us. To spread his gospel and let it go forth. May God bless each and every one of you. That's my message tonight. If y'all come get a song. What I want to do is, if it's all right, Brother Anthony, I want to open this altar up. If there's anybody here that's lost, I want you to hit it. That's why we're here. I mean, we come to fellowship and to love and each other tonight and have good fellowship. But I tell you what, it wouldn't be nothing better to go away from here tonight saying, boy, there's 3 or 4 got saved down there last night. Not that nothing that we done, but what? What God himself done. I'm telling you, there's no man, no greater nowhere. People say God's dead. They need to look out the door. What's coming on spring? Who brings those leaves out? Who brings it from dormant to beautiful? Who takes it down? And people say there's no God. Ooh-wee, I feel sorry for them. Is he going to say, one of these days he's going to say, what? Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity, because I never knew you. He didn't say what? The preacher never knew. He said, because I never knew you. He's talking to him. He said, I. Because what? never written in the Lamb's Book of Life. I'm thankful that mine's there. And then one day after a while, when death comes, I love that old song, that gold gospel ship. I know I'm not going to heaven on the ship. I'm going to heaven on the angel's wings. Where I'm going. When that time comes, He's going to take me right on. And I'm heading up that way. If you're here and you're lost, there's no better opportunity than right now to seek God. There's a house full of people here that'll pray for you. As the congregation stands, if you're here and you're lost, please come and seek God. Don't put it off. Don't wait. There's no reason to wait.
Number 113, 113, I will follow thee.
Thankful tonight for the message, wonderful message the Lord gave Brother Thomas, and just as plain, wasn't hard to understand, and that's what the gospel is. It's not difficult for people to hear. They just got to hear the truth, and the power of God to get a hold of them in a manner that they'll surrender. And I pray if you're lost here tonight, that you'll take heed to the drawing Spirit of God, and somewhere you make you altar somewhere, whether it be in the church house, in the house, at home, wherever it might be. Because that's the most important thing you do in your whole life, is to get saved. We're going to have another song. I know we've got a good number. We're going to ask Brother Thomas to come down. Y'all shake hands with him. Shake hands one with another. I'm so glad to see everybody here, all the churches that come together. I'm so thankful that we can come together, worship the Lord, and just try to see people get saved. And it takes all of us praying and working together, and each churches need to pray for one another. And I'm thankful that we can come together. There's a lot of places I love dearly, but they won't come to these. I wish they would. Because in the time that you and I live today, brothers and sisters, and how the world is, God's people better be bound together, working toward the common goal. And that's the lost people might hear the truth. Brother Thomas told you what all the world would tell. So Brother Byron, if you get another song here, we'll have Brother Thomas come down front. Everybody come around, shake hands with him, and shake hands one with another.
Number 184, Victory in Jesus.
Like me.
Beyond the rivers
week.
If you're around here and you got saved somewhere in this church, you can come on up. Y'all know how that works. Glory, 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 somebody touch me. Glory, 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 somebody touch me. Glory, 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 somebody touch me. And no one was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Monday, somebody touched me. It was on a Monday, somebody touched me. It was on a Monday, somebody touched me. And no one was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Tuesday, somebody touched me. It was on a Tuesday, somebody touched me. It was on a Tuesday, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Wednesday, somebody touched me. It was on a Wednesday, somebody touched me. It was on a Wednesday, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Thursday, somebody touched me. It was on a Thursday, somebody touched me. It was on a Thursday, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Friday, somebody touched me. It was on a Friday, somebody touched me. It was on a Friday, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Saturday, somebody touched me. It was on a Saturday, somebody touched me. It was on a Saturday, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. It was on a Sunday, somebody touched me. It was on a Sunday, somebody touched me. It was on a Sunday, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. It was on a great day, somebody touched me. It was on a great day, somebody touched me. It was on a great day, somebody touched me. And no, it was the hand of the Lord. Now, everybody that goes to North Carpentry, where you were when you got saved, everybody's here. Everybody? Okay. That's just checking. That's much. I got saved in Macy's Hill when I was 8 years old.
Amen.
It was on Sunday.
Amen.
Arnold Chapel.
Amen.
Mount Tyson.
Amen.
Saddle Creek in Lakeland, Florida.
Wow.
I got saved at Malone Chapel in 2003. I was 24. Carthage.
Amen.
East Carthage.
Amen.
Last 1955.
Amen.
Seymour Valley. Just down there on.
Middle of the highway, 1963.
Arcadia Methodist Church.
Amen.
Oak Creek.
Amen.
Matt Brown.
Amen.
South Carthage, 1960.
Amen.
Derek Missionary Baptist Church, 1972, 11 years old.
Amen.
Locust Fork Baptist Church in Locust Fork, Alabama, right in front of the left-sided pew on the stage. That first step I took,
Amen.
right there's where it happened.
Amen.
Farmers Chapel.
Russell Hill.
Bring back.
August Creek, about 13. I don't remember what day it was, but I still remember what happened.
Amen.
In the hallway of an old feed barn, milking calves.
Amen.
Casey died too, sir.
That's right.
Stone wall from my brother's house that's just spot over in the living room. For the Lord save my soul. One day after a while, I'm gonna see the Lord first. The church done going on, and I'm gonna see him too. Now just like the Lord, my brother and sister-in-law, he'll show me the way. You know, there's somebody always special in your life.
That's right.
When you get saved and everything, you know, it might be the preacher, it might be the brother or sister, but there's always somebody special. When the Lord saved your souls, it's been a big influence on you. My brother and sister-in-law would. I just want to thank the Lord tonight for that.
Amen.
Amen.
On my bed in 1971. It started right out here at the camp about a year and a half later. Seed planted.
Amen.
Farmers Chapel, 14 years old. So was that.
Bless your heart.
Brother Anthony in a ditch beside my right dad's garage many years ago.
Bless you, Brother Terry. He's Carthage.
Mom and Daddy's basement, if I lived on July, like 40 years ago. If I don't, it don't matter. Amen.
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 Man.
Next to my bed, while everybody else in the house was asleep.
I was under conviction quite a while. And in that camp, I was with some other, on their bases, I went to, people test me, and I just advise anybody who see it, anybody on one beach, get aside and pray with them, don't touch it. It didn't bother me, I think it does everybody. That's my opinion. I used to be shy,
Bless you, Brother Joe. Somebody ate.
He's first,
Okay, I'm Baptist. Union Presbyterian Church, Belfast, Tennessee. On the back row, and I'm sitting.
Amen. Ain't it wonderful? It don't matter where you at, you can get it if you get your heart right with the Lord.
Amen.
But-
See, that's what we gotta do. Those people that planted the seed for you, we gotta do it for somebody else.
That's right.
We gotta do that. Because of being saved by God's grace, I wanna see people, you know, something like, Lord have mercy, what's wrong? I wish the whole city of Carthage get saved. It don't whole county. Exactly. But we gotta do our job. Somebody did their job, that's evidence of that here tonight. Somebody did their job. Once they do it, comes down to it. What happens when we go on? We don't have to teach these living. How to be saved. So what they can do, so they tell us. That's how it comes down. And if we don't tell our little, somebody else will. And it might not be what we want them to hear either. And you think that's not right, you just look around.
Amen. Amen.
I'll tell you. But somebody, somewhere, planted the seed somewhere. That's evidence years ago. Thank the Lord. And I know. Don't think about it, don't worry about it. I know Wouldn't it be bad to walk around every day thinking you could lose it? Or if you could do something wrong or whatever, putting your faith in the preacher, or you don't put in me.
Amen.
And on.
Well, they don't let the Lord the door locked in. I work on small engines. Get to go back to the car and weed eaters, and I'll buy them all winter long, and I'll fix them up. And this time of year, I get out and park my truck somewhere myself. So Friday, I went over by College Street and Smyrna, and even Springs Road, and got a house there. I just find that weed eaters all around the corner of Eden Springs, up College Street. You couldn't miss them, there's a sign out. From my church, right side of my church there, and you could see this man's house from my church. I seen him walk over there with his dog, and he stopped in there, and I said, "You never seen a weed eater?" He said, "I made." And I told him what I had. He said, "Well, I don't have them. I'll have to go to the bank. I don't have one." I said, "That's okay. Here's my phone number." He come back today. I said, "We got a revival starting here Thursday night, 7 o'clock. I like to invite you to come." He said, "I always wondered what people met there." I said, "God meets there." Amen. I said, "You go in there, and the first thing you're going to see is look up there, you're going to see a wooden bank sitting in front of the football. It's wood just like the rest of it." I said, "It don't have no furniture in it. It represents you got to totally surrender to the tents. He said, "Y'all not going to preach hellfire and brimstone, are you? Scared you?" I said, "Sir, is it in the Bible?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "He said, preach the whole counsel of God." I said, "We can't leave it out if you put it on the preacher. We have to be preached."
Amen.
I said, "You're not going to hear the man say, 'Receive Jesus Christ as your personal Savior.' I said, you're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear, go back to this room, let's have a prayer together, and you repeat a prayer right there. I said, you're going to hear the truth of God. Whatever it is. I said, I read nowhere in the Bible where Jesus said, receive you as your personal Savior. I told him, I said, I do read. He said, when you receive me, I give you the power to become the sons of God. I said, y'all look over the key word many people does, the word power. I said, it's nothing within ourselves.
Amen.
I said, now who is the sinner, me or God, when I got saved? I said, who had sinned? God did, and he died for my sins. I said, I owe him the apology. I owe him my repentance. He's the one who forgives, and he's the one who puts the Spirit in and told me he'd forgive me. I said, nobody ever said you. It's already been saved. When you got saved? I said, oh, I know. He wrote it. Come back later when we knew she would take a trade-in. I said, yeah. I showed him what he wanted for it, getting another one. He paid me. He said, I see you Thursday. Man worked in the surgery room for 45 years. He's a doctor's assistant, a nurse practitioner, and a doctor. So I sold it for a lot. He said to me, it's so simple, man. I don't know how many years. I watch a lot of TV, a lot of Western, between the American Pickers and trying to get on Gunsmoke. I come by the station with him at 11 night. They called it Grace and Truth. And the man, he was writing all these words on the board here. And he came and he said, I hate to hear these Baptist preachers preach John 3:16. Said it ain't there. Let me, I said, how stupid can a man be, claiming having much knowledge, to get on TV right over their folks? I said, King James chose the men. Didn't know each other. Transcribe that. Brought every word back to be the same. They never seen each other. You say, John, here's 16, nothing by. The world is so blind. For all its abundance, in it ain't nothing. Beware of them, where the purple flows, remember, it's regular. Right. All that goes together, people. It's out there in that word. Oh, we got our sins. It just breaks my heart to think how many out there are sinners in the world. The narrow is the way. If you don't find it, then what is how they lost up in the world? It's the narrow is the way that you don't find it. I thank God I found it where we had 690 years. Oh, we're no bother for the wicked church on that.
Amen. Don't bless you, but snotty.
You know, take my daughter now. It breaks my heart. I'd rather God take me. He's over 49 years old. I got a grandson 7 years old. Mom.
Oh, dear.
Pray God take me here with her.
Bless you, but snotty. Remember his request. Thank you for these. Somebody else.
I remember as a little boy, getting down here up there at Louis Nancy, Charlie Owen. He was the old singer. I remember that one song after I got saved and so forth. And I'm glad I could feel it. And they started off singing, I can feel the Spirit burning in my heart. I can feel the Spirit burning in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. I can feel the Spirit burning in my heart. I know I have salvation in my heart. Amen. I know I have salvation in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. I know I have salvation in my heart. One more. I know I'm going to heaven in my heart. I know I'm going to heaven in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. I know I'm going to heaven in my heart. I'm not mistaken. I should have. Did you make a statement that they were singing, where are you going to run to? Where are you going to hide? And if they sing that song one more time, you just run out the door. And old gray-haired man, that's going on the door. Brother Arnie Brooks, he said, sing it one more time. You come on. Thank the Lord got saved. Thank God for the leadership that men and women will follow.
Amen.
You thought you was already right, wasn't you? You thought you was already saved. You didn't have to worry about where you're going to run to, where you're going to hide after that's it.
Bless you, Brother Stephen. Appreciate that. Somebody else.
I'll thank the Lord, bless my soul.
want to thank you for coming here tonight. You showed up. Anybody no feeling? There's something wrong with you.
Amen. Amen. God bless you, Brother Jackie.
I played football and I thought that was my world, to be honest. I broke my arm in the spring. Some people even know I was stubborn, rebellious, and hard-hearted. And I was unstable on this long. I came in here and my arm was broke. That was the only thing that broke that year. God broke my heart. I sitting back here one day. And I'll never forget Brother Jenkins come back. I thought he worried me dead at that point. But I just didn't know how much he loved me. That's right. Come back there and he said, I mean, I was in trouble. I wanted to leave so bad, and I was in such trouble I couldn't even go. And he asked me, he said, don't you want to pray? And I really did. I told him no. He just stepped back and adjusted his glasses. And he said, well, son, if you don't ever seek the Lord, how do you think you're ever going to get saved? I don't know why. But I started, and everybody in here, if you could hear them. I didn't know if, anybody even knew who I was. I came down here. And I poured with my heart. And I got to the point I thought, I'm going to work today. God, and everything I know how to do. And then I said, if you'll just kill me, I don't care about living, I just want to go to heaven.
Amen.
Amen. And then Satan showed up. He said, oh no, that wouldn't. So I kept thinking, why can't I cry? I tried and I couldn't. And then he said, well, you better pray. I said, well, I'm not praying. But I have nothing to pray about.
Amen.
Please. And when I say voice, I'm not talking about something you do. But it's something you hear right there.
Amen.
Just let me know you're going to hell. I looked up, my mom's right here, and I don't know what she did. But this is how quick God can change. There was 7 more sprung right out through there, 2 over there, and 1 there. And I instantly had a burden and wanted them to get what I did.
Amen.
I wanted to be a member of the church for so long. I've been trained right to get saved first. And so I tugged on Brother Jenkins' leg, and I said, wait, I believe I need to join the church. My heart's beating out of my chest, and I thought, he said, well, you're going to have to tell it again. And I said, well, I'll be glad to. And the same day I got saved, I was able to join the church, baptized a week later, big cast on my arm. And I just can't. Thank you, Lord. But right there's the grace. It's ever happened to me or will happen to me. And when I'm dead and gone, all that's going to matter is what we pray.
Amen.
Right there. And that's such a special place. And I'm just, for anybody that was here that day, and even if you weren't here, I want to thank you for praying for me. It was Saturday night, I hadn't been all week, I was in trouble. I came in, I told my father, I said, Dad. And he said, son, are you sick? I said, yes, sir. And I was sick. You don't hear that no more. I was sick. And but I've got to say this too, Brother Gentry's not here tonight. And of course, Brother Stephen, he got new way. But I'll never forget, Miss Elizabeth Kent was sitting right there. And they sung a song, and I couldn't make a pact with myself. I said, I'm not staying any longer. She said, I think we ought to sing one more song. Now, that's when the Lord was in. And so, we just need to be mindful and careful. When we do things for the Lord's in.
Amen.
And it'll pay off.
Amen.
It's just been good. If nothing else, just come down here.
Bless you, Brother Rick. Appreciate that. Somebody else.
you don't think we're preachers, don't you look weird? Next Saturday, you come out there with the interest in it. I preached everything I know. I don't know nothing else. I just don't know anything. So I'm tired. We hadn't had any results. Boy, that next morning, we busted that. People outside. That's what it's not. It's with men, it is impossible.
That's right.
Not in God at all.
Amen. Amen. Somebody else.
Brother Anthony, I want to thank the Lord for saving my soul tonight. I want to ask a request of all these people here at the church tonight. He's a man that I love so dearly. And he told me one time, I'll never forget him telling me this. He said, "Thank you for being my friend." Now that's something to say to a man, is it not? Amen. And I told him I was so thankful to be his friend, and I'm so thankful that we have a mutual friend. That friend is Jesus.
Amen.
That man, his name is Brother Charles Allen Gentry. He's preached to so many of us here, and he is in need of our prayers because he still so much wants to serve the Lord, and he's so disturbed because he can't do what he used to do. We not only need to remember him, but all those people, all those pastors that carried the word and worked for the Lord. That's the reason we're saved today, because those people follow the will of the Lord. Amen. I ask y'all to pray for me and my family that we'll do the best we can.
God bless you, Brother James. Appreciate that. Somebody else.
I would like to Miss Abby Buxton, for coming back and speaking for me. There's some great ladies in this world, and she's one of them. She came my way to get me.
Amen. God bless you, Sister Jim. Appreciate that. Somebody else.
Brother Anthony, can we sing 11 in this book?
11. Number 11. In the green book.
Just need to say something. The Lord saved my soul on Tuesday night, August the 26th, 1959, on the corner of Mother Street to the Sarcophagus. My daddy got saved in a sawdust pile here in the courthouse yard. And there was a preacher that used to come from Indiana every year and have a tent revival. Well, we'd always go because that's where Daddy got saved. That's where the Lord let me know that I was lost. And I was scared to death to go to sleep because I knew I was going to go to hell. Well, at South Carthage, when I was growing up, all the kids would go up and sit in the choir. And I was on the front seat of the choir. Now, I went to Hogan's Creek, but I got saved at South Carthage. I will never forget Miss Lorraine Hughes. She come walking across through there, and I knew she was coming to me. And she just said, "How is it with your soul?" And I hit that motor speech right there. There's a time in there I can't tell you about. But when I come to, I was up hugging my mama's neck. And this is my favorite song because don't worry about me, because it's well with my soul.
Amen. God bless you, Sister Jane.
If you'll get Songs of Faith that has all 4 verses, number 24. If you look on the left-hand side, H.G. Stafford wrote the lyrics to this. Some of you may or may not know. The author of the lyrics was from Chicago. And the Great Chicago Fire was in 1873, I believe, if I served it right. And caused a lot of distress, and he decided that he needed to get his family away. They were going to go to London for a vacation. He got to New York. He got a telegram from his business associates. It was something that they needed him to stay, take care of. He sent his wife, and I believe they had $3. They went on ahead. They got out in the middle of the Atlantic, a storm came up, the ship they were on sunk. Now, they did have a transatlantic cable. When his wife got to London, she sent him a message that she alone was saved. They lost their daughters. And he got on the ship, came across the ocean, was told where the location of the ship sunk and where his daughters were lost at sea. And from that experience, he wrote the lyrics to this song. P.P. Bliss, Paul Philip Bliss, was a evangelist, music evangelist, traveled all over the country. And he heard the story and took these lyrics and put this music to it. And I don't see how anybody can read this and not relate to these lyrics as a Christian. To think about your faith is strong enough to take you through any adversity, whether it be loss of family, loss of whatever. And there's one thing, no matter what happens to you, it is well with my soul. You know, we'll add 4 counts to the end of that first phrase. So
heart to me. I know we've got a little business to take care of where we're going to have it next time. Before we do that, I'm going to ask Brother Mike Turnipseed to address the calendars at this time. Brother Mike.
I would be happy to, but I'm not in charge.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So we brought calendars for you tonight, just finished them up. They're hot off the press from yesterday. Thank every one of you for going through, taking the time to fill out things and sending them back in to me. I think one of my biggest pleasures is sometimes just being able to talk to people and to get to know you and to know where you're from and everything that's going on with you. So I hope you all find it a pleasure. I know it's a pleasure for our church to be able to give you all this gift, but pray that the gift continues to go forward with your revivals.
Amen.
Bless you. And do want to thank y'all and all y'all's hard work that Hartsville Church and you put in and do that. It is a wonderful thing.
Amen.
To be able to see when all the meetings are going to be. So thank y'all very much. And they'll be on, when y'all leave tonight, somebody from each church represented, stop by there so they can mark your name off and they'll give you a calendar so you can have. Another thing, who wants to have the fellowship meeting in the fall? I don't think nobody spoke for it, if I'm not badly mistaken. Do we want to have a fellowship meeting in the fall?
Mine must be.
All righty. New Salem. So, in August, September, fall fellowship meeting will be at New Salem. That's great with everybody. Look forward to that. I want to thank everyone that's come tonight. I'm thankful that the Lord's been with us. Enjoyed a good message that Lord give Brother Thomas. I'm thankful for all the testimonies. And some of y'all, I've heard where you got saved and different things. But I try to think about that, different ones, when I go different places and hear people tell the testimonies of where they got saved at. And I still feast upon that, thinking about it. When I meet them or see them somewhere, they got a time and a place just like me. I wish everybody did. But I'm thankful we can come together and worship the Lord and serve Him and enjoy and feel what I felt here tonight. And thank each and every one of y'all for coming. Would anybody have anything else on your heart? I got a couple. I know there's a weekend revival going to start this coming Friday night at Zion in Hartsville at 7 o'clock. 7. Old Path in Smyrna starts Thursday night at 7. Revival starts tomorrow night at Willard. Be running all week. Be prayerful for these meetings. If you can go, be prayerful, pray for them. And there'll be a lot more meetings start before long. And let's just pray that the lost to get convicted.
Brother Anthony, can I announce a singing?
Yes.
Okay. The end of April, the last week in April, it will be the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th will be the Jackie Wilbur Memorial Singing at the Ag Center. And we invite our friends that we met all over to come in and sing. And we invite the ones that we feel like are spiritual groups that are going to represent the gospel well, or we wouldn't be having them here. And I love it when our people can get together with those friends we've met all over. And it's going to be on Thursday night will be Gold City Reunion, which Jonathan and two of the young men that he sang with in Gold City will be with them there that night at 7. And then on Friday night, Jimmy will have to correct me, yes, Inspirations from Bryson City. No,
McCain's
Friday night. McCain's. I asked you.
Daniel knows.
Okay, McCain's they're up in East Tennessee. And then the Inspirations on Saturday night from Bryson City, North Carolina. They've been singing gospel music since they were in high school. And Archie Watkins is every bit as old as I am. I know. And then on Sunday afternoon at 2:30, we will have the Perrys. And people that have heard about the Perrys know what a wonderful testimony Lady Perry has. And I would love y'all to share it with us and come, and we have food available and just have a good time in the Lord. We invite y'all to come. That's the 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th of April.
Thank you, Sister.
Let me announce, ours, we've got Seth Gregory coming May the 19th. We're just going to give him the floor, just like here, it's all yours. Do as the Lord leads you. And if you've been around Seth much and you've witnessed his humble spirit and stuff like that, I believe you'll fully receive a blessing. Be here at 2 o'clock on the 19th, May the 19th. It's a Sunday afternoon. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Would there be any other? Yes.
Let me add to the thing that the Ag Center, there's about 25 camping sites, 50 amp service, power, and water. We don't have sewer. I've worked with the county for a year and we still ain't got sewer, but that's another story. But we do have camping sites over there.
Anybody else got anything on your heart before we dismiss them?
Wear something green tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. For all of us with a little Irish blood.
But it has been a pleasure to have y'all all tonight. There's a whole lot of preachers I'd like to ask to dismiss tonight. But I'm going to ask the fellow sitting in the back, he's a deacon, that I have a whole lot of confidence and love him so dearly. Me and Debbie was talking about him. I didn't know whether he'd be able to be here. He's at every ordination that he's able. He's always visits everywhere. And I'm going to ask Brother Bobby Gentry to dismiss us tonight.
Lord, thank you for this day, this night, sparing our lives and giving us all this another opportunity to be at our house, sing the songs of the church, pray to you, dear Lord, for your leadership and guidance, and listen to the preaching of God's word, dear Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all the good testimonies we heard tonight, all the people about the years and the places where we got saved, dear Lord. We make us realize that you are not limited in any capacity, which we are every man gets his heart right, seeks you for his soul's salvation. As we're leaving tonight, dear Lord, we ask that you go with each and every one of us to our respective homes, and that we all be able to rise in the morning, see the sunrise of another day, and be able to put the church in the choir. Lord's day, dear Lord, and give you the honor and the glory that you so richly deserve. Bless each one of us. Remember those who are lost, dear Lord, that will see people in the world. Remember them, Lord, Lord, we want to give hope and seek you for soul salvation. Forgive us of our sins now and watch over us as we travel our way back home. We say we ask in Jesus' name.
Yes.